Hello, everybody. My name is Bobby Richardson. I will be doing some channeling today. And today I decided I'm going to tap into Gaia, into Earth, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call her. To me, she is an actual entity, a being in herself, in her own right, a magnificent collaboration of source energy that's created this beautiful life, ball of life that we can all reside on. And we're all intertwined with each other. And that is the energy that I'm getting at the moment when I start to tap into her. We are all as one, moving through an ascension process. When we feel strength, she feels strength. When we feel vulnerable, she feels vulnerable. There's a collective energy that's happening at the moment. And she's also speaking of other animals and so forth that were already in line with themselves, of their authentic self. But because humanity would only see through the eyes of limitation, they would only in their reality pick up the stories of fight, fear, flight within the animal kingdom. But now that we are moving towards a greater awareness of ourselves, coming into loving our authentic self more, or allowing harmony within ourselves, self-talk to be more in line with the love of who we are starting to see animals as being more compassionate as well. And so our outside reality is reflecting our inner growth. And so where we didn't see compassion with animals before, we are starting to see it now. And a greater awareness of what animals are actually aware of. Everything that is come into physical form is held in a program, a specific, authentic, natural program for them to be present in their physical body. But everything also has the alignment of source energy within it, showing me like peacock eyes on everything. Like everything has an eye within it, an understanding of their own self as one. And humanity, through their imbalance, didn't get that, didn't understand that. And she's now feeling a vibrational shift within humanity's consciousness of many who are doing the shadow work. It's not something that you're going to see those that are holding on to the old program shouting out over the media and so forth. This is something, an internal self, an internal knowing within oneself, or independent self, that is shifting. And many of us are doing this work by ourselves, internally doing it within ourselves. And then we are watching our reality start to shift towards allowing the imagination to bring in more things that we love, seeing the reflection of animals, animal life and plant life and stuff, and that there's actually more to them, that they actually do have a sense or awareness of what's going on. Even a tree has a sense or an awareness of what's going on around it. That life itself will always have the spark of consciousness within it. Anything that is man-made is still life itself, can be produced from that, because we are the tools, so to speak, of source energy going on a journey, creating. And nothing is outside of that. nothing. Something can be born from an imbalance of humanity's awareness, and when it's born from that, it is imbalanced. So it could be gifting that awareness from that unbalanced self, a different way of looking at things than normal. And it wouldn't have been able to be born unless there was either a journey that source energy wanted to take through a lesson, or creation expanding itself. So it feels like Gaia is like speaking of things that are artificial, that are on this planet, that are coming to birth. And to fear anything that is out of balance is to mean that you yourself don't see yourself in balance. So when you are in balance, that sort of energy cannot even affect you, because you know yourself to be a true essence of love that's held within yourself. Even things that Gaia has created hasn't been completely in balance when she has created them, because there was something within her that she needed to learn. And whether it be that she was more powerful than what she thought she was, or that she could go into even a more physical reality apart from source energy, or whether she was just expanding through this lesson. In balance and balance is still moving towards source energy. Let me give you an example. She's showing me a stretch of somebody's soul. Say this point here, this finger here, this point here is source energy, love going on a journey. And then this person here is going through a massive lesson. So what happens when that happens is they're showing me like a band being pulled far away from the love of self. And it gets more and more uncomfortable. But everything will return to its natural original state. And all of our original state comes from love, because that's what we were birthed from, love, wanting to go on a journey. So the further we pull away from it, the more that we investigate things that are out of balance, but also the more that we investigate things that we can create into balance. So that pulling away from the love of Earth, Gaia, her spark, is actually, and then getting metally into things, is actually going to cause disharmony or discomfort within the lives of those that are dabbling within that, where things will turn on them, because it will come to a point where it starts to consume itself. Why does it consume itself? Because it wants to return back to the love of self. And so it has to internally, if it won't internally go in, it will start to consume itself. And then that story of pulling away will start destroying itself. And those that are on the path of moving through life through love will see that. They will like, we don't need to meddle in that. We don't even need to be part of that. We know it will start to self-consume itself in the end. It's like if you get a mob of people that are angry all the time with life, with everything, and they just keep lashing out and destroying. Eventually that mob will start to consume their own people, because they're not feeling like they're moving towards the true essence or the origin of where they started from, which is just love itself. So if we allow the dramas to play out, but we don't become entangled in them, then we are moving through life, through love. And then Gaia herself will start to open up more understandings, or more, you could call it whatever you like to call it, portals or whatever you want to say, but it is an expansion of awareness of harmony that's through animal life, plant life, and an essence of life itself being here for each other in unity, and seeing that life and death, that death wasn't the enemy, that death was an expansion of the soul moving into another reality, and life itself wasn't the enemy. Life is a chance to find it out even more in this physical realm, on earth with her, and explore her, and explore where she's got, you know, the gems of love. And she's saying there's pockets within me that it's just pure essence of love. And when you actually visit those places, she's showing me like beaches coming up into lagoons, or just caves and water coming into it. And then the land that's been birthed from that is like humanity thinks they've got a monopoly on everything, but they do not. There are things hidden within higher vibrations that you will only meet when you come into balance of yourself. And then you will get a pull to go on a certain journey, and you will trip up over somebody else who's already found the love within themselves, and then they take you to these places. Or even if you got shipwrecked or something like that, and then you ended up finding this space that was just, but she's saying no matter what storm comes up for you, no matter what happens, stay centered in the love of self, and you cannot go wrong. So within every shell, with every stone, within every crystal, within every plant, within every animal, and every human is a spark of consciousness that is birthed through this bigger spark of consciousness that Gaia herself has within her. And we together create this life and death situation that allows us to have a playground. She wants to be humanity's playground again. She wants us to align with the beauty of her as well. And she loves it when we clear a space and create something magnificent, like a beautiful architectural house. But she also wants us to respect that which we are pulling down to create our own creations. We have a genuine thanks for and appreciation for the life that we're taking to be able to create something new. That's how she creates. Nothing ever stays life. And if it did, it would become very boring for a soul. So she has a lot of mysteries that she wants to give to us as well. But we cannot tap into those mysteries until we come into a centered, balanced self. We cannot even understand or comprehend. It would just go straight over our head. So many more mysteries are going to be discovered, even within the things that have already been found eons ago. So whether it's pyramids or ancient, artifacts or whatever, or it's just natural places where Gaia has created caves that are harmonic with off-world beings. She's also bringing me into the waters, into the depths of the ocean, and there are beings within the ocean too that will come to light, but won't be seen as the villains anymore, or there's something to be afraid of. It will be seen as an expansion of a playground that you can learn to converse with. She also is bringing me to the whales. So the whales are literally singing a song for humanity's consciousness to grow and expand. They are the base vibrational key to life. They hold resonance that when it moves through water, it moves through all of us. And their song that they sing holds it together, holds the base of the vibration together. It's like the bass of a drum and amongst a whole heap of musicians. If you don't have the bass or the drum beat going correctly, then it all sounds squiff, it all goes squiff. So these beautiful creatures are literally flying through the water, singing their song, and then through the exception, through the love of themselves, an understanding of the disharmony that humanity's consciousness went through, which also entangled them because we infiltrated everything within our own reality into this imbalanced state. But now that humanity has asked for help, and that one question and asking for help meant that everything, whales, benevolent beings from other worlds, animals and that are starting to show up in humanity's world as this love vibration. So this could show up within your own reality as like you're flicking through your posts on Facebook or something. Oh my God, that animal was compassionate to that, or that happened over there. And there's all these compassionate stories starting to fall into your reality. And you're aware now that there are trees that can actually move. And that there was more to the reality that you were taught at school, where plants did have feelings and so forth. But also to keep it in balance, we have to realize that all life is going to go through a shift into death eventually, because it's not the life itself is the slower vibration, the particles moving slower so that we could have a physical world. That will always need to change and change and change, and go back to the ether. Like water evaporates and goes back to the ether and becomes part of the air, and then it could end up condensed into a cloud, and then it becomes water again, and it falls, and then it becomes part of the earth, and it goes in through a flower, and then the flower becomes, evaporates again, and there's this cycle that happens. Now, each part of that water's life is relevant to the experience that it's happening, and this is what happens with each of us in a physical body. So to never hold on to the physical self, because we know that in essence we will never disappear, we just change, and then we can form back into that which we came from in a different story. And so we start to have this amazing playground from the soul's perspective. So Earth herself knows this, and she knows of life birthing and dying and birthing and dying. She knows that vibration is needed for her to expand and redevelop and shift and allow for different experiences, for souls to have different experiences. She embraces the cycle of life. She doesn't diminish it by saying death is a mean thing or a horrible thing or a thing to fear. She doesn't. It's no different to her than what birth is. It is part of the whole journey. It's just that when we've come from an imbalanced state of awareness and we've only come from our logical mind, when that happens, we can't see past into the etherical world. And so we see death as absolutely, oh my gosh, we don't understand it. And a logical brain doesn't understand it. And so we fear the unknown. But it is within the unknown that we become more aware, more expansive, more understanding of the connection of everything as source energy, including Gaia herself with humanity. So we're all going on this journey together. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else coming from Gaia herself. I feel there's this rumbling that's happening. It's interesting, like a rumbling. She's showing me like when a new vibration starts to occur, it's like it can be out of balance a bit until there's a footing on that song that's been sung, so forth, to birth something new. And to begin with, it can become like almost like the pains of labor, a rocky event, like earthquakes and so forth. And it's like shifting of things, but no human's head will be touched unless they fall into the fear of change. It's you aligning with the fear of change or the fear of the shift that end up causing you to leave because your soul literally doesn't want to be here during the experience. And so it puts itself in a dangerous situation that it will let go of the body, or the body will die, or something will happen like that. But when we're in line with loving who we are and understanding that change is necessary, that change can be a little rocky at the beginning till we get a footing on this, then we will be an observer of it, of the change, an observer of it. But we don't need to look at it as a negative Nelly thing. That is what's the old program was, pulled over our eyes to fear change, to fear shifts, to fear earth growing, expanding, and her natural, the nature of life itself, the winds that are blowing and so forth. So rebirth can happen, but you still stay in the same place, but you see life through a different perspective. She even herself is acknowledging humanity's growth of awareness. She's acknowledging, she's understanding that there's way more that's coming up for humanity. And that there is a sort of she's letting go of it now, she says, but there was a fear with where that would go. But she's not feeling it so much anymore. As she's starting to understand that shift. There's going to be a lot. It's interesting. It's like she's got one side saying, one part of it saying that it's going to get rockier, and then the other side of it saying it's going to get more intensely beautiful. So I suppose it depends on you and your journey and where you're going on, what you're going through, and how you actually move with. She would love it if we start to take our shoes off and put our feet on the ground to really feel her, so she could feel us. When she feels us, you know, every animal out there leaves droppings and so forth on Earth. She knows their energy. She works with their energy. She grows what's needed for vitamins and so forth for them. But humanity has separated themselves so much that it's hard for her to, well, it's not hard. She's powerful anyway, and she understands the whole process of the imbalance that we've gone through. But she would love it if we at the least, took off our shoes and put our feet in the ground so that she could feel our energy, our vibration with her again. And she would love to be able to gift those that are ready for this wisdom, like electricity that comes from the ground up, and with it holds information. It's like bleeding her soul into your soul, understanding more. There's something to do with that. Like to learn to talk or acknowledge everything as part of part of your creation as well as hers. And so acknowledging a tree and, you know, going up to it and holding it, there's much wisdom in a tree, because they're, especially the older ones, but even not the older ones, because they actually hold a memory of their life before their life before their life before their life as well. So they have a great